This part is honestly really, really easy. So in case you think, oh my God, this is just too much for me, it actually doesn't take that long. Like literally, we are more or less done. Hope you're all doing well. I'm back with another educational beauty video. Today's video is actually a full makeup look using BB cream, and it's the look that I actually did when I was in Greece recently. I did this daily. It was just so easy. It gave me kind of SPF, it gave me sun protection, it gave me Greece vibes, and you guys wanted to see how I created that look, so here it is today. Now, if you do like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. And I'm over on Instagram, so please do come and say hi there too, because I do a bit of unboxing, a bit of reels, and a bit of just behind the scenes. Now let's head straight into this video. I've just got back from Greece and I'm a bit obsessed with some of the makeup that I started using while I was there. I hadn't used it before my trip, but while I was there, I thought, let me just, I kind of like do that quite a lot. I've noticed if I'm going somewhere new, when I'm packing my makeup, I think, okay, let me just take these new bits and kind of not take my usual bits and just kind of like force myself to try this new makeup, because then you're gonna have to, because you just don't have anything else while you're away. And I tried it and I loved it. So here it goes. I'm gonna show you my look that I did while I was in Greece. I was there this time last week, and I just hate how quick it's gone, and I'm really missing Greece. And by the way, if you want to see my whole Greece trip, you can see it on my YouTube channel, my vlog YouTube channel. Right now is actually up already, and literally I just want to sit, I might actually watch it later just to kind of like probably make myself feel worse about the fact that I'm not in Greece anymore. But I loved it. While I was there, I used some new products, and I actually love every single one that I used. And I kind of feel like if I had used it on one day, like I probably would have done here, and not used it again, I wouldn't have given it a fair chance. So the fact that you use new products on holiday, like whenever you go on vacation, just think, right, let me just add a few new products, and because you're forced to use them, it genuinely does make you kind of like really give it a chance. So we're going to start off with the fact that I have under eye masks on, and these are my 1-1 Skin cryo depuffing masks. I've actually had them on for about 10 minutes now. And I had a virtual press event with 1-1 Skin, with the founders of 1-1 Skin, 111 Skin. It's actually a husband and wife duo. They are both the founders, and the husband is actually a plastic surgeon in Harley Street. And they really put a lot of kind of thought and science and kind of backing behind the ingredients of their products, and how it kind of like helps the skin to repair itself and just generally helps to make your skin better. These cryo eye masks, I used them while I was out there because I had a press event and they sent like some of this stuff over. So I actually used it while I was there and I loved it, and I just loved hearing more about it. But it's very good for depuffing, and I suffer from that on my under eye area. Another quick point about this whole tutorial, did you notice I have a plaster on my finger? Because my nail, one of them broke, and I hate looking at this short stubby nail, so I just covered it with a plaster. Actually, it's not the only reason. It did bleed. When it literally broke, it was like blood everywhere, so maybe that's a slight exaggeration, but it was bleeding, and I don't want to look at that stubby little nail, so I'm just covering it up. Like I was saying, the difference is that we're actually going to do this look with BB cream, because it's something I was using on a daily basis whilst out there. Now, while my eye masks are on, I'm just going to put on my serum. This is my 111 Skin Repair Serum, and this really helps your skin to basically repair. It's as simple as that. So I am just going to add 1 pump of this, and you basically use this morning and evening on cleansed skin. You don't want to get it near your eye area, so it's quite good that I can just like, put this on while my eye mask is on. And it's like a kind of it's like a gel kind of finish to it, so it's not like overly fluid. And yeah, so I'm going to put that on. Next up, I'm going to use my moisturizer, which is my Wind Marrakesh Rich. This really helped to keep my skin kind of hydrated, because I was literally sunbathing every day. Do you like my tan? I have got super brown, and I love it. And you know what else? I feel like when you're tanning in, like, obviously we were in Greece, so I feel like you get this like really nice golden Mediterranean tan. It's like a really nice tan. So it's very different to like tanning somewhere like, Do you remember when I went to Bali? Oh my God, that tan was awful. It was just so burnt and horrible, like in all the wrong places. So anyway, got my moisturiser on. Now I'm going to add some eye cream. I am going to take these off now because I feel like I've had them on for a while. It kind of like really, like your skin really soaks that up. So I'm going to put some eye cream on, just a little bit. Just of my Drunk Elephant Sea Tango. I'm just going to add this to the top part and just a little bit more here. This is so good. I'm trying a new coffee. It's the Nespresso Coconut Ice. So good. So good, guys. You're going to love it. Anyway, let's move on. So I've got my moisturiser on. Now, I'm not going to be applying SPF because I am using a BB cream which has SPF in there. Now, I'm going to use my Borean Super BB cream. This stuff literally was amazing. I was using it whilst I was in Greece and it gave me just the most flawless finish and the most amazing coverage. And yeah, it's SPF 20. I'm using my Sigma F47 brush, and all I do is I literally just apply a little bit of this to the brush, just a little dot there, and then I start brushing it over the skin. Guys, do you like my earrings? I picked these up in a little, really cute little boutique in Old Town in Greece. By the way, I went to Crete in Greece, and it was just so cute. These are like little, I don't even know what they're made of glass or something, I'm not sure. But they're little butterfly earrings and they're so cute. Okay, so we're just gonna like smooth this all over. And this was literally my kind of like daily makeup. The only thing I really changed every other day was like maybe a little bit of eyeshadow here and there, or sometimes I wouldn't put any, or I changed my lip colour. But otherwise it was mainly this. And the colour is amazing for my tan. Now, I also took this with me. This is my Makeup Forever HD Skin Face Sculpting Palette. And it's actually new because it's specifically for face sculpting. And this stuff, I love these palettes. They're amazing. Now, I put a layer of my BB cream on and then I go into this face palette just to sculpt my face a little bit so it doesn't look fully flat right at the end. And the reason I do put a layer of the BB cream on first is because I feel like then I get a good idea of kind of how much coverage I have, because I don't want much more coverage than this, because I will be applying some concealer to my eyes and to my under eyes, like just that area where it's a little bit dark, and then applying a little bit of that BB cream on top to just kind of like bind it all together. Now, I am going to be using this shade here. There are no kind of like colors here in terms of like, I don't know what color to say to you, but it is that one there within the palette. And I'm using I'm using a Makeup Forever, it's a 226 brush, but you can use any kind of like concealer brush. Now, all I'm doing is just kind of like gonna sculpt along here, here, and just here. You know, there's obvious places that you usually contour. And I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood complexion brush. And I'm literally just gonna like buff that in. And this part is honestly really, really easy. So in case you think, oh my God, you know, this is just too much for me, it actually doesn't take that long. Like literally, we are more or less done. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of concealer to my eyelids. That was my Tarte Shape Tape in 35N medium. Just gonna grab my sponge and then just buff this in. I had a lot of people asking me like, you know, how did I do my makeup? On Threads. Is anyone on Threads now? Guys, you need to go check out Threads. I really love it. I just feel like it's a way nicer community than Twitter. Twitter, I always felt like it was just such a crowded space and there was just so many opinions and just everything mixed into one, and it was just kind of like, okay, this is getting a little bit too much. Now I just want to have a good time. I just want to like chill. And I feel like Threads is kind of like a more relaxed place with just normal people. Okay, got my powder and just pressing that in here because it's really important, no matter what your look is, to ensure that your eyelids and your under eye area is going to stay really nice and kind of smooth, no creasing. You know, you don't get that horrible like built up product in any kind of like creases or anything. You don't want it to look like you haven't set your makeup. So those areas are really, really important for you to kind of set. Now, this I noticed was quite a similar look to what people in Greece, like the women in Greece, were wearing anyway. I was really kind of looking at, I mean, women in Greece, they're beautiful women everywhere. You know, in Greece, they really have this really amazing Mediterranean look to them. Like their skin color is just that little bit olive, and it's just really nice and a little bit golden. And yeah, so they don't wear a lot of makeup, and obviously this is probably a bit more than what they would wear, but you can really tone it down. You don't have to use as much product, or you could potentially even skip a step or two within this, but it was actually quite similar in terms of the finished look. But I would guess that they don't probably have to use as much maybe concealer because like maybe they just don't have the kind of dark circles that I have, you know. Anyway, gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of concealer on my under eyes. And with this look, I don't actually apply a lot of concealer. Okay, let's buff this in. And it's really important with this look to kind of make sure that some of your flaws do come through. Like my kind of freckles on my nose, I kind of want them to come through. So I'm not really applying concealer or too much foundation to that area. I'm going to the salon tomorrow to sort this stupid nail out, so it's really annoying me having to put plaster on, and plus every time you wash dishes or do something like that, or wash your face or have a shower in general, it just comes off. So the amount of plasters I've been through is ridiculous. Now can you see we added that little bit of that kind of like sculpting, and it's still coming through. Do you remember I said to you I'm just going to go over my concealer with a little bit of BB cream? I've got the tiniest amount on the back of my hand, and I'm really focusing on keeping it on the under eye area, not like on going over my whole cheek. And I'm just kind of like warming that area up, because obviously my concealer is a bit lighter in comparison to the rest of my face, but at the same time I do want it to be lighter because I want that to be a little bit brighter, so that brightness can still come through if I go over with a tiny bit of this BB cream. Now what I'm going to do is set my under eyes. I am using my Makeup Forever Ultra HD powder in Light Banana. I've got my Laura Mercier powder puff, and I'm really going to like press, but just on this under eye area. There. I can go close to the nose and just along the smile lines. Get your brush, just dust off this whole under eye area. Try not to kind of spread that powder anywhere else. Like I said, it's really important to make sure that areas like that are set properly, because those are really the main areas. Like, so imagine if those areas started creasing, or you can really see product build up around the eye area. It's going to make you, one, look older, two, it's just going to look like you're a hot mess, three, it's just going to make you look kind of tired, to be honest. You know, when like at the end of the day when your makeup looks like bleh, like that's what it's going to look like. Ooh. Okay, I haven't actually powdered anywhere else. Now this whole routine, I really love how the skin comes out, because I feel like that nice kind of tanned look is coming out, and I have just the right amount of kind of sculpting on the cheekbones there. It was a very small amount, very quick, wasn't too dark, and that's what I love about this Makeup Forever palette, because it's not too much coverage. So if you're looking for sculpting with a texture which is very similar to foundations and concealers, that's perfect for you. It's going to just work wonders. Now, next thing that I'm going to do, I'm just going to sort out the skin, and then we can move on to the brows and everything else. I'm going to use my Pixi On The Glow bronze. This is something which I was loving while I was out there. It's called Rich Glow. That's the shade, and it's basically a hydrating solid bronzer, and it comes like this. It's really cute. It's like a little kind of popsicle. Now, what I liked to do with this is kind of, sometimes if I was in a rush, I would kind of like swipe it on. But if I've got time, then I will actually kind of like buff it into the skin, because if you kind of like swipe it across, if you don't have any kind of foundation on and it's mainly your skin, and your skin's generally pretty good, so you don't need to give it much coverage, then you can swipe this along, it's fine. But the minute you are wearing any kind of foundation or concealer, which is there because you need a bit of coverage, swiping this along is just going to basically ruin any coverage that you gave yourself. So what I do is I take my sponge, just a spare sponge that I've got, and I kind of like cover the end of it, and then I basically start buffing this in, and I just go kind of just above where I sculpted there, because this has got like a very kind of warm terracotta feel to it. So it just adds that glow so that my skin isn't fully matte. And it just makes my skin look good. And then on top of that, my whole under eye area is nice and flawless. So I don't even need to worry about that. How nice is this, right? I just feel like it's just grease in a bottle. You can put it anywhere else that you want it. That was my first time to Greece, by the way, and it was so good. I loved it. And obviously the fact that I was with my sisters, it was our first sisters trip together. It was amazing. Okay, we're gonna do the brows now. And this is another new product I took along with me. It is the Victoria Beckham Baby Blade in medium brown. Now this eyebrow pencil is pretty amazing. It's got a spoolie on one end, but I'll tell you the amazing thing about it. I really, really love it. And it's made its special place in my little stack of makeup, my everyday makeup. The reason it's so good is because the texture of this, firstly, it is super fine, by the way, guys. It's super, super fine and it's slightly slanted and it's a strong tip. It's like a straw, it's just strong. I was trying to figure out how to say that, but it's just strong. It doesn't break easily. But what I love about it is it gives you the glide of a cream, like, you know, when you have like, you've got dip brow, for example, like any kind of like pomade. I don't know how people say that. I say pomade. There's no other way to say it. I say, yeah, pomade. Why does it sound weird? Sometimes certain words just sound weird. Anyway, you know what I mean, right? This glides on like that, but it is a pencil and it gives you that long lasting kind of like finish, but also slightly soft. So you know, when you think of things like a dip brow, you kind of feel like, okay, that's a lot of pigment, right? But this glides on like that and gives you kind of a little bit of that pigment without it being overly strong. So you don't have to worry about your brows looking super dark. So yeah, that's what I really love about this. So what I'm going to do is just start shading in my brows. I just like to kind of add a few kind of like strokes because I don't want them to be like super, super dark. It's just such a small, cute little blade. Like, honestly, that's literally all I do. I feel like it's just such a good brow pencil. Okay, next up I'm going to do my eyes and I'm using my Hourglass Voyeur. I don't know if that's how you say it, but you know what the deal is here on this channel. We just say it, and even if it's not right, you know what I mean. It is a new eyeshadow stick from Hourglass, and I took these out there not knowing what they were going to be like. Well, like some of the other products that I've used as well, and they're really, really good. So they're kind of like sparkly eyeshadow sticks, and they're great because the pigment is good, but I love the fact that it's not overly pigmented either. So if you want like that very transparent shimmer, which isn't kind of like thick, chunky glitter, you know, then this is great for you. And it's great for like just that sun-kissed eyeshadow look. I'm gonna use Phoenix, and all I did is I literally just kind of like went along this whole middle section here. So I kind of like covered up the lash line, and I also went right through the middle. So you can see I'm just going along the lash line here, and then I just go through the middle up to the crease area, and that's it. And then I just went a little bit into my lower lash line, but only in the middle. So we'll just keep it really simple. Then literally all I did was I got my finger and I just pat on top. And you can keep building it up if you want to. So I literally just went under there. Then I got Solstice, and this is a little bit kind of like paler. And I just basically went along the lash line, but just in the middle. And it just kind of like opens that area up for me a bit. And I really like these because they are great if you want a subtle eyeshadow look. If you want to look like you've got something there, but it's not obvious. And yeah, that's about it. You can apply this wherever you want. I just applied it a little bit on the center of the lash line. You honestly don't even need to blend it half the time. It's just up to you whether you want to kind of like blend it out depending on how much you actually applied. We are going to curl the lashes. I'm just using my Kevyn Aucoin lash curler. And then I'm using my YSL Lash Clash mascara. And I'm just basically coating my lashes. Ooh. This is one of those mascaras that was kind of like sitting in my little pot here and I just never touched it. And I thought, you know what, let me just take this. I've run out of my Benefit Magnet lashes. So I took this and I thought when I was using it there, I was like, wow, this is actually a really good mascara. Now, even though I go along on my lower lashes, I always kind of like remove it a bit with my fingers because I feel like you can get a little bit too much, you know, a little bit carried away because the brush is so big. So I always kind of like just grab any obvious bits off of my lower lashes because I don't like them to look spidery or anything. Now this is my lip cheat from Charlotte Tilbury in Iconic Nude. I really don't apply a lot of lip line, and then I'm using my Rare Beauty Lip Souffle in Brave. There you go. And I just kind of like buff it in so it's a bit blurred around the edges. So this is my finished look. This is the look that I created most of the time whilst I was in Greece. And yeah, it's just giving me Greece vibes right now because I'm just looking at myself thinking, I just had this on and I was laying by the pool on the rooftop of the hotel and just chilling, enjoying the sun and just the whole like the Mediterranean vibes, and it was just so nice. And having my Greek salad and I don't know how you say this, but tzatziki, you know, like the yogurt dip thing, and it was just so good. And anyway, yeah, the food was really good too. It was really light, it was really great. And yeah, so this is my finished look. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope this is something that you're going to recreate as well. Don't forget, if you do want to watch my whole Greece trip, there's a whole vlog on it on my vlog channel. Go to my description below or go to my about section on my YouTube channel and it will take you straight over to my vlog channel so you can check that out and see what we got up to. It's really, really fun. I think you're going to love it. I am going to be sending you loads of good vibes wherever you are in the world. I'm sending you loads of love and I'm going to see you soon. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. Until the next video, take care and I'll see you soon.